Welcome to a night filled with mysteries, whispers from the past, and spine-chilling tales that will leave you questioning the world around you. Tonight, we explore 5 haunted locations, each hiding secrets and spirits that defy explanation. So, grab a seat, dim the lights, and let the stories pull you into the unknown. Let's start with our first story, the haunting of Gracie Watson in Savannah, Georgia. This isn't just a ghost story. It's a glimpse into a tragic life that never truly ended. The ghost of Gracie Watson, Savannah's eternal child. In the enchanting yet eerie city of Savannah, Georgia, where moss-draped oaks and cobblestone streets seem to whisper forgotten secrets, lies the haunting tale of Gracie Watson. In 1889, Gracie was just 6 years old when pneumonia took her life, leaving her parents, managers of the Grand Pulaski Hotel, shattered. She was the joy of Savannah, her laughter lighting up the hotel and her charm captivating guests from all walks of life. Her parents, grief-stricken, commissioned a life-sized marble statue of her likeness to stand at her grave in the iconic Bonaventure Cemetery. But little did they know, Gracie's story was far from over. Visitors to the cemetery often feel an inexplicable chill as they approach Gracie's statue. Some claim to hear the faint sound of giggling carried by the wind, while others feel the touch of a tiny hand brushing against theirs. The marble statue, eerily lifelike, is said to cry tears of sorrow on certain nights, its eyes following those who dare to stare too long. Locals whisper of sightings beyond the cemetery. Gracie's ghost, clad in a white dress, has been seen skipping playfully in Johnson Square, her luminous figure glowing softly under the moonlight. Brave souls who approach her grave leave small gifts, flowers, toys, or coins, hoping for a fleeting connection with Savannah's eternal child. But be warned, as the clock strikes midnight, the line between our world and hers blurs. Some have felt her tugging their clothing or even heard her voice faintly calling out, as if begging not to be forgotten. Savannah's ghost tours often end with her tale, reminding all who listen that while Gracie may no longer walk among us, her spirit will forever haunt the streets of Savannah. And that's just the beginning. Are you ready for the next spine-tingling story? Stay with us, because things are about to get even more chilling. Let's move on to our second story, a chilling tale that inspired one of the most iconic horror novels and movies of all time. Deep in the Rocky Mountains lies a hotel so haunted that its very name sends shivers down your spine. This is the story of the Stanley Hotel, where echoes of the past still roam the halls. Turn off the lights and listen closely as we unravel its mysteries. The haunting of the Stanley Hotel echoes in room 217. Nestled in the majestic Rocky Mountains of Colorado, the Stanley Hotel appears picture-perfect, a pristine escape surrounded by breathtaking natural beauty. But beneath its elegant exterior lies a history filled with supernatural encounters. It all began in 1911 when a chambermaid named Elizabeth Wilson was tasked with lighting the lamps in room 217. A gas leak triggered an explosion, throwing Elizabeth through the floor. Miraculously, she survived. But her story didn't end there. To this day, guests who dare to stay in room 217 report unusual activity. Doors open and close on their own. Luggage is mysteriously unpacked, and some even feel an unseen presence tucking them into bed at night. Elizabeth's ghost, ever the dutiful maid, is said to still roam the halls, ensuring everything is in perfect order. But she's not alone. The hotel is filled with unexplained phenomena. Phantom piano music drifting from the ballroom, shadowy figures glimpsed in mirrors, and children's laughter echoing down empty corridors. What truly cemented the Stanley Hotel's place in horror history, however, was a fateful stay by author Stephen King. In 1974, he and his wife checked into room 217, the hotel nearly empty for the season. That night, King had a vivid nightmare of his young son being chased through the corridors by a possessed fire hose. He awoke in a cold sweat, sat down, and began outlining the novel that would become The Shining. A chilling tale of isolation, madness, and malevolent spirits. Today, the Stanley Hotel embraces its eerie reputation, offering spirited night tours for those brave enough to explore its haunted past. But beware, Some visitors report bringing more than just memories back with them, strange occurrences and apparitions that follow them long after they leave. Are you ready to spend a night in room 217, where every shadow seems alive and every creak of the floorboards feels like a ghostly step? The night is young, and the terrors have just begun. Let's dive deeper into the darkness with our next story. Stay with us. You won't want to miss this. Now, let's dive into our third story, a place where echoes of despair and torment linger in the shadows. This is the Ohio State Reformatory, a site that once held the nation's most dangerous criminals. But today, its halls resonate with the cries of those who never left. Listen closely as we unravel its haunting secrets. The Ohio State Reformatory, Shadows of the Past. Built in 1886, the Ohio State Reformatory in Mansfield, Ohio, was a fortress of iron and stone designed to reform wayward souls. But what began as a place of rehabilitation quickly devolved into a house of horrors. For decades, its imposing walls held some of the country's most violent criminals, subjected to inhumane conditions, brutal punishments, and relentless despair. Those who survived described it as a living nightmare. Those who didn't are said to still haunt the prison to this day. Perhaps the most chilling stories come from the depths of the basement, where the spirit of a 14-year-old boy is said to linger. He was beaten to death under mysterious circumstances, and visitors report feeling an oppressive presence, hearing faint cries, and even seeing his ghost darting between the shadows. But that's not all. The dreaded solitary confinement cells, remains one of the most active paranormal hotspots. Prisoners were locked in total darkness, sometimes for weeks, and many never made it out alive. Today, ghost hunters and thrill seekers who visit the area report sudden temperature drops, disembodied voices, and even physical sensations. Cold hands brushing against their skin or the feeling of being watched. This eerie site gained global recognition as a filming location for The Shawshank Redemption, but its fame has only amplified its haunted reputation. Paranormal investigators have captured chilling EVPs, shadow figures, and unexplained movements throughout the prison. Some say the walls themselves seem to breathe, alive with the agony of the past. Tour guides warn visitors to tread carefully. Many leave with more questions than answers, and some with unforgettable encounters. If you dare to walk through these haunted halls, remember, the Ohio State Reformatory isn't just a piece of history. It's a gateway to the unknown, where every step feels like a descent into darkness. But don't go anywhere, the night is far from over. Our next story will take you to a place where a brutal double murder has left spirits restless for over a century. Stay with us. You won't want to miss this chilling tale. Let's move to our fourth story, an infamous house that hides secrets in every corner. This is the Lizzie Borden house, where whispers of unspeakable crimes echo through the halls. The spirits of the past still roam here, and their presence is undeniable. Let's step into this chilling tale together. The Lizzie Borden house, shadows of an unsolved mystery. In 1892, a quiet Massachusetts home became the scene of a brutal and perplexing crime. Andrew and Abby Borden were found gruesomely murdered. Abby in the upstairs guest room and Andrew in the sitting room downstairs. The culprit? Never definitively proven, but suspicion and infamy landed squarely on their daughter, Lizzie Borden. Despite being tried for the murders, Lizzie was acquitted, leaving the truth shrouded in mystery. Yet, the house itself has never been free of its dark past. Today, the Lizzie Borden house is a time capsule of terror, meticulously preserved to look as it did in 1892. Visitors report unsettling phenomena, phantom footsteps echoing through the halls, the faint scent of floral perfume wafting through empty rooms, and the sound of whispers when no one else is there. In the guest room where Abby met her tragic end, many feel a cold, heavy presence. Some even claim to see shadowy figures lingering near the bed. The sitting room where Andrew Borden took his last breath is another hotspot for paranormal activity. Guests report seeing the indentation of a body on the couch, as if someone invisible were sitting there, and some have heard a chilling voice calling out in anguish. The house has become a magnet for paranormal investigators and thrill seekers, drawn to its reputation as one of the most haunted places in America. What makes this story even more terrifying is the interactive nature of these hauntings. Visitors have seen objects move on their own, doors slam without explanation, and even felt gentle but icy touches on their arms. These encounters have left skeptics questioning their beliefs and believers leaving with stories they'll never forget. For those brave enough, the Lizzie Borden House offers ghost tours and even overnight stays. But beware, many who spend the night say they leave with more than just memories. They leave with a chilling connection to the spirits still trapped within these walls. Stay tuned, because our next story will take us deep into the heart of a fiery industrial nightmare. A place where tragedy and revenge have given rise to some of the most spine-tingling encounters ever recorded. You won't want to miss it. And now, let's delve into our fifth and final story. A place of fire, fury, and the echoes of restless spirits. Prepare yourself for the haunting tale of Schloss Furnaces, where the agony of the past lingers in every shadow. Let's begin. Schloss Furnaces, the fiery ghosts of Birmingham. In Birmingham, Alabama, a monument to industrial ambition stands as a chilling reminder of human suffering. Built in 1881 by Colonel James Withers Schloss, the Schloss Furnaces became a hub for producing pig iron, an essential material to rebuild the crumbling infrastructure of post-Civil War America. Thousands of workers toiled in sweltering heat and unimaginable conditions, facing danger at every turn. But with progress came pain, and the furnaces became a site of tragedy and torment. By the early 1900s, the furnaces were under the control of James Slag Wormwood, a foreman infamous for his cruelty. Slag pushed his workers to the brink, forcing them into hazardous situations to meet his relentless production demands. Over his tenure, nearly 50 men lost their lives in horrific accidents, and countless others were maimed. But Slag's reign of terror ended abruptly in 1906 when, according to legend, his workers, driven to madness by his inhumane treatment, threw him into the molten furnace. His screams were said to echo long after his body was consumed by fire. Today, the Schloss Furnaces are a national historic landmark, but its eerie reputation far overshadows its industrial past. Visitors and paranormal investigators have reported spine-chilling encounters, phantom footsteps ringing out in the darkened corridors, the faint clanging of metal echoing through the empty furnaces, and the disembodied voice of Slag himself, yelling, "Get back to work." Many have felt unseen hands shove or push them, while others claim to have seen glowing apparitions wandering the grounds at night. The area known as the tunnels is said to be the most active. Here, workers endured the highest levels of heat and danger, and their anguished cries are sometimes heard reverberating through the underground chambers. Paranormal teams have captured unexplainable footage, shadowy figures darting through the corridors and equipment malfunctioning without cause. Some even claim to feel an intense, oppressive energy, as if the spirits of those who perished there are still reliving their final moments. For thrill seekers, Schloss Furnaces offers ghost tours and overnight investigations, but these aren't for the faint of heart. Many who dare to enter leave with stories of their own, terrifying encounters that blur the line between reality and the paranormal. The spirits of Schloss Furnaces are restless, and they do not forgive easily. Thank you for joining us on this journey through 5 of the most haunted locations in history. If you're brave enough to uncover more chilling tales, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell. Who knows? The next story might be from a haunted place near you. Sweet dreams. If you can sleep at all tonight,